Hey, Fitzy here, back with another sheet metal tech tip. Do you remember them factory seams that were all done lead between quarter panels and roofs? Stick around, I'm going to show you how to finish them. Okay, let's get started here. First of all, what we have here is a B-body Mopar, early 70s. And what we have here is a quarter panel, and this had a roof skin put on it. Now, it's all been welded up, everything's been treated on it. Now, most times, from the factory, pretty well all times, this here section was leaded. Now, not a lot of guys are leading these days. Paying someone to do the lead work, finding someone to do the lead work is not as easy as you think. But one thing I found, even when it's done in lead, that especially I've noticed on some of the GMs, not so much the Mopars, but on the ends here, they had a tendency to crack and in the lead with stress, especially if you're going to drive the car hard or anything like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a section to go over the top of this and weld in. Now, most fellas would say, why don't you just cut it all out and just weld a piece in there and be done with it. But what you got to realize is that this quarter panel is welded to an inner structure on the car, and then the roof skin is welded to that. This is a structural section of the car, so cutting this out is not a very good idea to do at all. So usually what I'll do is I'll weld a piece over the top of this here to do it. The reason why is because most places will probably just end up filling that, and you can see the gap that's there. That's a lot of body filler to have to put in something. They'll fiberglass it and then fill over it. I'm going to take up all that space now with metal and make this all one piece. So the first thing I want to get into is this end piece here, tidying up this end here and this end here, where it joins the roof and in around the back window, so that's nice and smooth there. And then I'll get into showing you how to make this section, how to mark it, and how to cut the piece out. So let's get started. Okay, I just took this piece of tin here now, and I have a cutout to fit over this edge, because if you leave this here, this is where this is going to go, and you're looking underneath this here, you can see the distance that it's going to take up. Now, one of the little tricks that I do is on the back side, if you look at it on the end, is I got the edges beveled back. This will help with the whole point of where it's laying back. It'll actually rest easier on the actual panel. Right here, it'll be smoother, right? I'll end up cutting off this section on the inside after, but you can see I rounded the edge to follow the body line on the roof line. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to weld this section in and grind it all up and dress it up, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here I got the ends straightened up. As you can see now, this flows right nice along here, and you can see it back here. You can actually look in underneath it. Right. And but that there has got a nice little flow now. He looks across it this way here. It's got a nice flow this way. It's got a nice flow this way. Coming along here for the molding to sit on. And then over on this end here, I had to tidy up this section here a small bit and straighten up in here. So I'm left with this here. Now you can see I got a group of dots going all along here. What it is, that's marking the points on it. This is all I did, is I took my piece of metal, rolled it over the edge of it like that, and marked the 2 points on it where it started to flatten off. I used this right across like this so I can get a template from it. You can see the distance of the piece that'll have to be made. When you stand back, you can see the shape of the piece of steel that got to be put in there. Right. So now I'm going to, usually I'm not one for making templates, but this is a pretty unusual piece, and it'd be nice to have an exact piece to put in there. So I'm going to go out now and I'm going to make a cardboard template where all them dots are to, and I'll show you what I got done. Alright, so here's my template. We lined it up there first, as you can see, and it follows along all them little dots on the top side there and whatnot. Made it a little bit longer so I can adjust it. Then I took this here and I went and cut out a piece of metal. This piece here, as you can see, if you're looking at it, oh, too much bright light. This way it's shaped. So now this here just goes down, lines up on all them there, going along here, and I cut the end of it to roll the edge there. The front I reworked a lot more. I didn't, as I got into it, I didn't like the way it was sitting, the piece of metal, so I made it smaller. And I'm going to work that end. Also, I got the ends beveled, edges, As you can see, it's like a knife edge on it. And someone's going to say, well, that's going to be awful thin to weld, but when I goes to weld this, I'm going to be welding it back into here, back to the thick part. The reason why I bevel this edge is now when I lays it on the metal here, it's going to be a nice tapered edge. It's not going to be up high, so then you'd end up having to grind all the top off of this here in order to get it to flush. And I'm not going to cut it and whatnot, so. Alright. Alright, so I got it all welded up and grinded up. Here's the first pass with the weld. As you can see now, you can still see where it's been joined and everything. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back and re-weld on this outside edge all again, all the way around the whole thing, so I can taper it back more. I can keep grinding this back, but I'm going to make this thinner in here. So by adding another row weld along this outer edge, it's going to be able to taper it back. Look at this. You can see where I re-welded everything around, and then I just started to re-grind it. See the big difference it makes? Now I'm tapering it back there now, off from the other weld, and you can see I'm just going to keep grinding this around now. I may have to re-weld it again a couple of spots here and there to get a nice finish out of it. Be very particular with it and stuff like that, but that's what I'm going to do with this one. So I want to get this all welded up there now and grind it up, and I'll show you the finish. And there it is, all grinded up, all finished. Looks the part. Even the fit on it is pretty good. The panel, let's see. So that's another project completed. Hopefully the tips were helpful. You enjoyed it. And until next time.